What's up, everybody? It's the spiritual light, Miss Pat, passing through. I am back with another video, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about a story that I ran across in the Ospeth book here, and it is in chapter God's book of Esra. Okay, Esra. And it's a pretty funny book. It's revisiting the situation of um, Moses and the Pharaoh. Okay, now this part of the book takes place. This part of the story actually takes place in heaven at this point. Uh, our Pharaoh has done his time down in the lower realms as far as in hell, and the Most High tends to repurpose people. So remember, he just don't throw you away after you gotten disciplined or whatever, or you have gone and gotten your punishment. He repurposes you and you become a guardian angel or something else for the help of his kingdom. Okay, well, in Pharaoh's case, he went through his punishment. He's like, I never want to go through that again, whatever. And basically, he was at the point of being repurposed. And when they brought him to hell, all of the spirits from the different Israelites that actually went to hell came and attacked him and left him in this strange stupor. Okay? So he's kind of stuck in this place where he's, where he keeps saying, "Oh God, oh Heavenly Father, deliver me, Moses, deliver me." He's steady saying this over and over and over again. Okay, do you understand that he's asking the Father, God, he's asking Moses, he's asking Moses to come deliver him because he got hit by all of these demons and they are taking him in places, I guess, in his mind in hell, and he's just kind of stuck in this type of trance. And I guess the guardians or the angels that handle hell is sitting up here like, now we the ones go and mess with people's minds. What's wrong with this dude? This is not normal. We the demons that go in torment, so why is he stuck like somebody's tormenting him? So they go and they say, we need to go take this up with the higher realms. And they go up to the higher realms with the situation, and they go see Moses. Moses sitting on his throne, handling business of the different heavens and the realms, and they wait in line to go see him. It's like, Moses, inside the hell realm, we got, if you remember this dude, this was Pharaoh, and he's acting kind of weird, as if he's possessed or something. And we can't wake him up, and we don't know exactly what to do. So we brought him to you, since you know about him and his situation. And yeah, it ain't our fault down there. Okay, just as long as you understand it ain't our fault, we cool. And he's like, well, what's going on with him? He's like, he just keeps saying the same thing over. Oh God, oh Son of the Most High, and deliver me, and keep screaming Moses' name over and over again. It's all he does all day in, day out. He was like, well, bring him in, blindfold him, because they can't take the light that's up here with us on this level of realm of heaven. He was like, okay. He's like, just make sure that we can't hurt him or nothing. So they bring in Pharaoh. All right. Pharaoh's blindfolded, and he's steady saying this stuff over. And okay, Moses, so Moses looking at him like, all right, well, maybe my light, maybe, me being here will help him snap out of it. So Moses is like, not Moses, but Moses is sitting up here saying, okay, now bring him here. And they bring him closer to him. And he's steady repeating the same thing over and over again. Son of God, God, Moses, deliver me. And Moses says, I'm here, I'm the Son of God, I can help you. And he keeps saying it over and over again. And Moses is like, oh. And he said, well, undo his blindfold. Maybe my light will, wake him up out of this spell. And they undo him a little bit, and he's still just staring at him. Now, mind you, to look upon Mozart in his purest form is what? Usually deaf. It didn't do nothing to him. So he like, he's steady looking at him like, yeah, this ain't normal. He like, this ain't normal. Go get Moses. You see, Moses was taught by Father himself, so this is something new. This is a curse Moses put on him. This has to be a curse Moses put on him. And the only person that can lift it off is Moses, because I can't do, if my light can't shake this. Clearly, do you understand? This is something Moses did. So he said, go. He said, send a messenger to Moses' realm where he's resting and tell him I need him to, come to court real quick over here in the seventh heaven and everything and stuff like that. And he was like looking at him, he was like, whoa. He said, yeah, take him on back since he keeps repeating the same thing till Moses gets here. Like, what did that boy do to him? He like, my dad, he like, Pops must have taught him some things, because he taught him himself. So I have no idea what's going on. We have to wait till Moses get back on with other things that we have to do. Who's up next? What else I got to do? So fast forward over to Moses' house. So the messenger gets to Moses' house, and Moses and Isaiah are, hanging out in Moses' realm. And Moses is in a realm where there's nothing but books in the heavenly libraries and things like that. So he's into the books and everything. So they say, Moses, remember about 200 years ago back on earth when you had your, you was on earth and you was doing your thing, you was human. It was this guy you had a good conflict with. And, the messenger, or else to tell him, and he's having an issue right now. He's like, who are you talking about? He was like, you remember Pharaoh? He's like, yeah, my half brother. You understand? My adopted half brother. Yeah, what's going on with him? He's like, yeah, we were trying to repurpose him to be able to, help with the Israelites. And as soon as we tried to do that, in hell, the Israelite spirits all attacked him and sent him into a stupor, and nobody can get him out. None of us in our powers in hell can get him out, and not even Mozart at court can get him out either. He was like, oh no. He's like, I totally forgot about that. He's like, I had no idea. I completely forgot that I put a curse on that man, that every time he thought about the more Hebrew Israelites, that bad spirits would come and haunt him, and torture him. Shit, I completely forgot about that. Let me get my coat on, man. I'll be right with y'all for that. Oh no! He started crying. He was like, "Oh man, it's like, how long? I said, like, how long you been messed up, man?" He like, the messenger said about a good 200 years. He's like, 200 years? You done forgot you put a curse on somebody for 200 years. This dude been messed up for 200. He was like, don't rub it in, man. We got to go. You want to come with me to this? He's like, I guess, man. Come on, let's go. So they go ahead and get on the ship and go to see Moses. Now Moses so happy to see his voice. It's not even funny. He's like, a day of recreation. Moses and Isaiah, they in the house. My boys is here. What's up? They all shaking up and everything, because he hasn't seen his guys in a long time since he took them from earth and put them in a place of rest, because Moses is a very busy man. You understand? He's a very busy spirit, handling all things in different realms and stuff like that for his father. So he's got stuff to do. So it's very rare he gets to sit over here and spend time with some of his prophets that dealt with things on earth. So, which is kind of cool. It was kind of nice to see him really happy. He was like, "Nah, Moses, we can't do a day of recreation today." He's like, I gotta take care of Pharaoh, man. I ain't know. Man, you gotta forgive me. I had no idea. I forgot. I completely forgot that I sat up here and cursed this man. And Moses was like, well, go ahead, bring Pharaoh on in here. You know what I'm saying? But we still having a day of recreation. We partying, boys. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he brings him in. He sees the kind of state he's in. He was like, oh no. And Moses is upset. He was like, he did not, you know what I'm saying? He's more than sure that he did enough with the he had been through enough with punishment inside of hell to get revisited again with this type of hell is different. And nobody could deliver Pharaoh out of this hell but Moses. So Moses does his thing, he does his prayer, and Moses sitting up here like, look at that glow. Look at my voice. Look at her, look at her, look at her. You know what I'm saying? He did this prayer and he glowed, his glow, his spiritual glow was like completely golden. And Pharaoh stopped with the repeating of the same thing over and over again, and he could see Moses, and he was like, he said, are you okay? You know, he prayed and asked Father, Heavenly Father, to forgive him about this particular curse that he had placed on Pharaoh and things like that. And Pharaoh was like, thank you so much. He was like, you can do whatever you want to do to me. Just don't put me back there in that place again where he could not stop what was happening to him in his mind. And he was like, well, exactly what happened? And he was like, it was just torture. And he said, and the torture felt like eons for thousands of years. He said, even though I was, he said, I don't know how long I've been in that space. Just whatever, you can do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just don't put me back in that place ever again. And he was like, I'm sorry. He's like, that was worse than hell, where the curse had him under. So Moses was like, he was so upset. He was like, I am so sorry. I did not mean to forget about you, bro. I am so sorry. He said, how about this? He said, but the guy from hell told me, he said, even if we bring him back down and try to repurpose him to help the Hebrew Israelites, they gonna attack him again, and this is gonna keep happening. He's like, don't let them attack me like that. He said, well, I'm gonna give you a garment and make it where they'll run away from you more than come to you. So he made him a garment, put it on him, and he said, I'm going to give you some of my hosts that the Heavenly Father gave me so they can help you. He said, now what your mission is going to be is that you are going to help the Hebrew Israelites in spirit as a guardian over certain mortal individuals. So you will be their guardian angel. Are you cool with that? He said, and every month, and Moses said, every month what we're going to do is to make sure, everything's good with you down there with them, is that we're going to have one of my messengers come in and look and see if everything is going okay with you. We're going to check in on you and get reports. Is that all right? He was like, yeah, just as long as I don't go back to what I was doing, I'll do anything. So Moses told Moses, now you and Pharaoh, y'all need to go down to the lower realm, which is in heaven, and then show him what his spot is going to be, where his new assignment is going to be, and when you come back, we're going to have recreation. I was like, oh, this is so cool to see, like, how everything is moving as if it's a business up there. Like, this is a business of getting souls, prove yourself in this place, you know what I'm saying? Show yourself approved and things like that. So even if the evilest of us get in trouble, it seems that there is a situation or a program that is in place to repurpose us and help us try to redeem ourselves. But I found that in this particular story, which was really cool, is that Pharaoh gets to go down, and Moses changes his name. He goes down and he helps, and he helps convert 700 Israelites over, to the way that of what pretty much how we are looking at things. That because you have to understand, inside the world, Moses seeing that there's two different types of religions going as they are today. Not religions, but two types of beliefs. The one belief that, there is this invisible God that's in heaven that is, doing things, and it's the God of your forefathers and things like that. And he said, and then there is the second that actually understands the books and things like that of what's really going on. You understand? And they're not praying to like the first groups that they think it's a Heavenly Father that's inside statues. He needs statues, he needs money, he needs all of these things as it is today. in order for you to pray to him, and it is not like that. It literally is the same thing that's going on. And what Pharaoh converted was somewhat people like us today, who see through the lies of the general religion that's out there for heathens and people who don't believe in nothing. Because like they said in the book, it's three types of people. It's people that believe in a sky daddy, okay? And then there's people who understand that this is a place of learning, as well as that there is a God that understands things. You understand, that hears you, that hears your prayers, and has angels that work on his behalf and things like that. And that he's the maker of all the different types of worlds. This is not the only world that he is in charge of, nor he has created. You understand? And then there's the people who are just individuals that don't believe in nothing. Okay? They don't believe in anything. All right? He called them straight out heathens. He's like, that's where your Edomites and all of them fall in. They don't believe in really too much of anything. All right? And those type of people are actually at the whim of evil spirits to do their bidding at any time. But I found it nice that Pharaoh did do well. He got his 700. He guarded these people, and with his host of angels that he had with them, and guarded them and took care of them all the days of their life. And then when Moses came back, he's like, it's time for me to come get you. And he was like, you remembered me. He was like, of course I remembered you. You understand? We got a history together and everything. Just because of what happened between us and the mortal world does not carry over into spirit world where we are. So you had to do your time. And he was like, so where do I go from here? Pharaoh's kind of like in this, well, what's going to happen to me now? And he was like, oh, you ain't know? You coming with me to my realm. And he was so happy. He was like, so get all your guys that helped you with your assignment, and y'all coming with me to my realm. And it was so nice to see that the Most High is I love how he is, because he regenerates. It's like there's no such thing as waste. No such thing as a mistake or something that you give up on. It's just he repurposes you for something else. As bad as Pharaoh was, and the reason why Pharaoh had to go help and become a guardian angel to the nation of Israelites is because he was key in helping them go wrong. He helped them go wayward. So the best place for him to have been, honestly, was to help to be a guardian angel over the nation, to steer them in the right direction. And it's really cool to read about that. It was really cool. That was one of the coolest stories inside of this book so far. And when you come to read the Auspice, I need you all to understand you need to read that with an open mind. I don't know exactly where that book came from, but some things in it make sense, and then some things will probably bother your psyche a little bit. So be careful with that book, because unless you are really good at being able to separate your belief and your emotional feelings in reading different documents, it may take you to places you don't want to go. It may leave you in a depression area. I had to watch that with myself. So with a lot of these books, please be careful when you read them, because like I said, you don't know who made them. And that was something in this book that it did address, is that a lot of the books that we have may or may not have been inspired by who we think they were inspired by. That's one thing about this book that is very interesting, but I'm not going to discuss that on here with you guys on this channel. I'm going to leave that to you, for you all to go and talk to the Most High about. This is definitely a book that you need to sit down and talk to Mota and the Heavenly Father about, because there are some things in there that make sense, and if you're not careful, they'll mix you up, and you really don't want that. So you have to talk to the Most High about that particular book. That book is definitely for mentally strong people. If you're not solid in your walk and solid in your understanding, that somebody can introduce new information to you and it not break or make you shake, other than make you have honest, provoke, and provoke real thought inside of yourself, I wouldn't bother that book. But when it comes down to it, I like some of the stories that are in it, and a lot of the stories in it make sense. I think Big Judah touched on the story about understanding certain things that make you think, like, why would the Most High ask Abraham to kill his son when you know that his laws speak and say, thou shalt not kill? And basically letting you understand that that was not who was speaking to Abraham, was not the Most High. That was the evil spirit impersonating the Most High. And this book shows a lot of impersonation going on inside of it, of spirits that people thought they were talking to someone else, talking to the Father, and actually they were not. You understand? And it also shows some things about as above, so below. Just like we're having conflict here, Moses got his issues in heaven too. You understand? There's people questioning him all the time. And I had an issue about, trusting him. And he was like, you can trust me. You understand? You trust people that didn't deserve to be trusted. You can trust me. But that's something that he goes through on a regular basis, that there's always people questioning his authority about who he is. He's the Father's son. There's going to be angels that did that. He said, how do you think the fallen ones became the fallen ones? They questioned my authority, being the Heavenly Father's son. And they wanted to do things their way. And they took that fight from heaven down to earth and messed with y'all, which was a big no-no. And I felt a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? And as I was reading the book, it made me understand a little bit his position. That he's just like us when we get in situations in our families and people question, like, who told you that you supposed to be in charge of da-da-da-da-da. Same things that happen with our families happen up there. It's just a small microcosm of it happening here on earth. But the same thing happens there. So with his brothers and sisters up there was issues. And they felt like they should be like him. You understand? And they usurped power from time to time. You understand what I'm saying? And they pretended to be him and mess with us. But the Most High and his Father saw how all of this would end up. You understand what I'm saying? And it shows where we are now. So that's why I said this book is for people who are mentally able to take that kind of platter of meat. Not everybody can, so be careful. Okay, so if you are not steady in your walk and understanding, and nobody can bring you a conversation that is a little bit different from what you're used to hearing, because a lot of us had to take time to walk into this walk and come away from the church in the way the church taught us, and then be able to walk over here and read things that are contrary to what we were reading inside of the church, which was nothing. So when we finally got over here and started getting other books, then things started to make sense. But when you get to this kind of platter, this is sitting here with very richness. Okay, I don't know if you there's a such thing as certain types of chocolate. You can eat a Hershey's bar. That might not bother you. But chocolate that's made by a chocolatier from France may hurt your stomach. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a situation. It's chocolate, but it's a very rich brand of chocolate. It's a higher level of chocolate. And you might not be able to digest that really well. So that's what that book is. It's a higher level of chocolate. It's still chocolate, but it's a higher level of chocolate. And it takes a certain type of palate to be able to handle that level of meat. Okay, so like I said, be careful with that book. But anyway, I thought you all might like that story about Moses and Pharaoh, and how their relationship did not just end with Pharaoh being in ruin and upset he didn't get the Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? it continued on even long after they had left this world, y'all. So it was a good story. Once again, that's out of the Auspice book. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's out of this book here, and hopefully you all will be able to check it out. Okay, see you soon. Talk to you. Bye bye.